showtime! Woo! 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 Silent and profiling. Woo! It's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am your host, Tommy. And to my right is my main man, my Toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. What is going on, brother?
It's a sad day. It's a sad day.
I know, and Thomas is already talking about that here. But we knew that was going to happen, right? I mean, this is not a surprise. Okay.
You know,
hey, Nasty Nate in the building.
Here's the thing. When I started seeing the linebackers and the contracts that were going off the board, like, Edwards got, and, I was thinking, oh, wow, maybe the market isn't going to be that high this year for the linebackers.
Right.
I mean, Edwards is a stud linebacker, and he got like $7 million a year, and then they turned around and paid Edmonds freaking 18. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but we kind of, I'm not.
We knew he was gone, but you can always hold out hope. Why not trade something for him instead of letting him go? Because you can't.
He's a free agent.
We gambled on his 5th year trying to run it back with that team, and we failed.
Yeah, there was nothing we
got to
could
walk for free. Now, as of today, we'll get a 3rd-round comp pick for him next year.
Right, what you say? 3rd round's good. We've been hitting on 3rd rounds. So.
Yeah,
right.
As of right, well, if we can say we hit on 3rd rounds, we didn't hit on last year's 3rd round.
Well, I'm just saying, in general, we've hit on some 3rd round. But you're right. You are right. We did not hit on last year's 3rd round. That is a fact.
So it's one of those things, during the season, because they were trying to win it all. You don't give up on. I'm really surprised that they let him walk. Although seeing us double down on Milano makes me feel better, knowing that we gave him a 2-year extension and he's going to be around. Made me feel better about it, because now we talked about this a little bit earlier, Tommy. A couple shows ago, where we talked about maybe a little bit of a positionless football, right, at the linebacker. So you bring in another cover linebacker, give Milano the green dot, let him call it, and just let those guys go roam and hit. Get a couple big dudes up front, and just let them go attack. I wouldn't mind seeing that now.
I mean, we didn't really, I had a feeling today was going to go exactly the way it did. I'll be honest with you. I thought we would make some moves, but it wasn't going to anything to be, anything to write home about. But I think as the days go on, we'll start adding more pieces to this team. I just don't think they're going to be anything that's going to wow you. But I think but listen, Bean, I thought, and we're going to get into it later, I thought the guard they got today was a good pick. It was a good value signing, if that makes any sense, right? A value signing. And he's and by the way, he's he doesn't get hurt much, this guy. So he was hurt his rookie year, I think, and he had a knee ankle thing last year. But other than that, he's pretty durable, which, by the way, we need durable players on this team, especially the offensive line.
Versatile.
We'll get into that later. He played
line.
center. Exactly. So he can go to left guard or right guard.
He also played on the same college offensive line as Ryan Bates.
Correct. So we'll get into him a little bit more. Let's get into more stuff, Mikey. So what else we got going on? I'm just curious, before we dive deep into the Bills, what happened around the league today, Mikey? Give us
what
some
happened
leagues
around the league. There was a ton of stuff that was going on around.
So give us some stuff. So you want to start with the Ramsey trade? You want to start with that one for the Dolphins? You want to go there? Because the Dolphins were in the East. You want to go to the East guys first?
I was just going to kind of go down. I was going to go down the list.
Go ahead.
I was going to go down the list.
Why not?
So starting this morning, Mike McGlinchey, right tackle for the 49ers, got signed to a 5-year, $87.5 million deal by Denver. So they went out and got a new right tackle to protect Russell Wilson. Javon Hargrave, the defensive tackle with Philadelphia last year, who had 11 sacks, signed with San Francisco for 4 years and $84 million. They added more to that pass rush, which is crazy. This is the one that got me, a little bit shook. Jawan Taylor, he's a right tackle.
Yep.
For Jacksonville, signed with Kansas City, 4 years, $80 million.
Yeah, it's a lot of money
for a right tackle. They said, they could play him at left because, Orlando Brown is a free agent and they're not bringing him back.
And that's probably why they did it.
That's a lot. I mean, there was better tackles out there than him.
No, I know. I think they probably overspent a little bit there. I know they did, but I think they know that Orlando Brown's going, and maybe they just I don't know. Who knows? Could have got a good interview. They see something he likes that fits in their system, right? I'm just saying. Yeah. But that is a ton of money.
It was. I couldn't believe that when I read that. And they're talking about moving him on the left side. He's never played the left side in the NFL. He's played left side in college. So it'll be interesting to see.
It's tough if you haven't done it in a while or never did it. You know what I mean? To switch sides. I know a lot of players have a tough time doing it.
They do. Jimmy Garoppolo signed with the Raiders, 3 years.
Yeah, I think that's a smart move for him. I don't know.
He went back to McDaniel, who knows the system. It's where he came out, and that's who traded. And remember, they wanted Garoppolo to succeed Brady before, Brady left on his own. Like that's who Belichick and McDaniel wanted. And Kraft vetoed him and sent him to San Francisco. So, we'll see what happens there. Tremaine Edmonds, 4 years, $72 million with the Bears.
Surprised he picked the Bears. I did not have them on the Bears.
They had a lot of money to spend.
No, I know. I just didn't think
of anybody.
Yeah, I know, but so sometimes a player would take a little less to go somewhere he prefers or whatever. I'm a little surprised that he would go to the Bears because they're kind of a rebuilding team, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. But hey, took the bag.
Yeah, this is a great comment by Daniel Garies. Is Jimmy G better than Carr? I don't think so. I think he might fit that system better, but I don't think he's a better quarterback.
I think they're about on the same level, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. I think I like Derek Carr, but man, it seems like he has tough stretches, right? Like he just plays some bad football. Jimmy G too, though. He goes through these tough stretches where he doesn't play very good football. So I think honestly, it's the same thing. Honestly, the Raiders are going to still have a tough time with the quarterback, but I don't know. I think the Raiders should have probably went through the draft, in my opinion, but there's no good quarterback coming out. Really, they're not. You know what I mean? Maybe next year. Yeah, exactly. You never know. 100%. But I think this is a good pickup for them for now. I think he's reasonable until you find a future quarterback. Maybe they do, but I don't. You know what? I don't think they do, Mikey. If they're going to go for a quarterback, I think they do it the following season, and they're going to wait and see how Jimmy G plays out with them. And worst case scenario, they're not satisfied. Then maybe they draft one the following season, and then have Jimmy G. Kind of like the Alex Smith situation, have him one more year, the young guy, as a backup. And
Jimmy G's only 31, so he's not.
No, I get it, but I'm saying a young, a cheaper quarterback, younger quarterback, you can blossom. We'll see. But hey, that's
ouch, Daniel. I mean, good for Edmonds to get the bag,
Yeah.
And you know what? They signed 2 other linebackers, so there's a good chance Edmonds gonna be playing outside.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about that, Tommy?
Edmonds
moving outside.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
We talked about that.
They're going to use him. They're going to use his strengths, man. Something that we.
Yeah. They're going to use him like they used Shaq Leonard back in the day because that's who the defense coordinator is, their head coach. They're going to use him the way Shaq Leonard was used during that heyday. Then Jesse Bates, the safety for the Bengals, 4 years, $64 million to Atlanta. Jamal Dean was re-signed, got a 4-year, $52 million bag from Tampa Bay. Nate Davis, this one kind of caught me off guard. Nate Davis signed for 3 years, $30 million, 10 AAV. I will take Connor McGovern over Nate Davis all day long with a $3 million difference in salary per year.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. A lot of overpaying today, by the way.
Yeah,
I thought.
Andre.
I think Edmonds is not though. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Edmonds. I just don't know. The Bears. He's going to have to be patient. I'm going to tell you, Edmonds right now is not going to be like Buffalo where they're winning. They may be on a losing side for a couple seasons.
Yeah, he's gonna have like the first year or two.
That's
with
what
Buffalo.
I mean. Yeah, exactly, 100%. First year or two, and then maybe it doesn't mean things will get better. You know how Chicago's been; they haven't been a very good football team in a long time. So we'll see. But hey, he got his money, man. That's
yeah. So let's hit this comment. It says the Bears traded Roquan Smith so they didn't have to pay him just to pay Edmonds more. The Bears are not a well-run franchise. Actually, the Bears traded Roquan, got a second-round pick, and then ended up signing Edmonds to $2 million a year cheaper than Roquan. So they got second-round pick, Edmonds, and Edwards basically all for that same price they could have gotten Roquan.
Right.
So it actually wasn't a bad move. Kind of surprising if they weren't willing to pay Roquan, who was their own pick, was in-house, to turn around and pay somebody else. But maybe they're going to use Edwards as the middle, and they wanted an outside linebacker like Edmonds. Roquan's not an outside; he's a middle. So maybe that's what they were looking for.
Yep.
Got another comment coming in here saying, agreed. I like McGovern, and we re-signed our clutch punter and special teams and Cam as well. I was not a big fan of the Cam Lewis re-sign.
I wasn't.
I just wasn't. I wasn't at all. I didn't like Matakevich. I understand he was I understand he was a captain. I understand that he was a captain. I didn't care for it because we have Braylon Spector, who's basically a clone of him, who's on a rookie contract. But it is what it is. McDermott likes those leaders in the locker room, and that's what they're paying for. So as long as they overpay for him,
absolutely. I mean, that is kind of a little bit of a downfall for McDermott. The way he, I don't know, Mikey. I don't. That's one thing about McDermott, like that I don't like. I mean, there's multiple things, but that's one thing that I'm like. He has his guys, man, and he sticks with them. And no matter if stubborn. No matter if they're good, good for the team or not. Like he's just he's stuck in his own ways, man. I tweeted it out today. He's just like,
it concerns me.
Trent Murphy.
It concerns,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It can. I love McDermott. I loved what him and Bean have done for the Bills, turning them around, making them a legit franchise again.
Yeah, 100%.
Not bottoms. But I am honestly concerned when I keep seeing them to re-sign their own.
Right.
Just like, are you kidding me? And then you let one of your best walk. It's like,
right.
I don't understand it. We have young players that we've drafted to replace some of these vets. Why are you bringing them back?
Right. And I don't mind re-signing your own if it's a guy that is, a top-notch guy that can put you to the next level, and losing him, could drop you down in that position, right? Like Tyler I mean, he's a special team guy. And it's one thing about McDermott, he's a special team guy. So, like, he's going to take care of his special team guys first. Like, and it's like, man, listen, man, I get it. Special teams are important, but they ain't getting you to the Super Bowl, right? Like, come on, man. Like, pay attention to what's going around the league, right? What's going on around the league is they are getting players that can help them, or at least give them the opportunity to either make the playoffs or get to the Super Bowl. And the real good teams like the Chiefs and the Bengals, they're going after playmakers, guys that can instantly come in.
Don't look around the league. Look in your own division.
No, I know exactly. 100%.
Look in your own division.
Exactly. Look what they're doing. Right? I agree.
I don't.
It's frustrating. It is at times. Listen, I understand we're tight right now with the money. And by the way, there wasn't many restructures today that I heard of. Like Allen's deal didn't get restructured today, right? I mean, I didn't hear nothing.
Not that they announced.
No, that's what I'm saying. Nothing. Vaughn's in it, right? Like the key guys that were able to get us in that cap space. So
the ones I've heard of so far was Milano with an extension.
Right.
Settle with the 600,000.
Yep.
They redid Hines' deal and
Yep.
brought him down to 3.5.
They only saved us like 1 point something million.
Yeah,
by the way. It wasn't like
1.6.
yeah, it wasn't like a
1.6.
wow. Right.
The biggest one was
Milano.
Milano. Yeah,
Yep.
it was like 6 million or something like that.
I'm
But
sure it's coming. I'm sure they're just trying to figure that out.
they have to have it done by
Wednesday
at 4
Correct.
p.m. or something like that.
And they will. I'm sure they will. But as they're goofing around with this, taking whatever they're doing, stalling, taking time, they're missing out on free agents. I'm going to be honest with you, right? Like, it's time to like pony, like get whatever you got to do done so you know what you're playing with money wise, and start talking to some key free agents. And we talked about this last week. We know we're not going to get stud free agents in here. It's just not going to happen. The money's not there. But let's bring in some players. I do like the one move we today. At least we did something besides special teams. We brought in somebody, but man, I want to see more, Mikey. I do. Even if it's just guys that could come in. Yeah, it just seems like we're not. This is not going on 2 years. Well, actually, last year we made some moves with Devon, but a lot of those players didn't work out. Now, listen, I like Jordan Phillips. Shaq Lawson worked out. Jordan Phillips, he started to, but he got hurt. So did he work out? I don't know. You know what I mean?
No. At the end of the day, he didn't because he wasn't on the field.
Exactly. Saffold didn't really work out, right?
Oh God, that was. He made the Pro Bowl by name. Like I'm sick of hearing, Saffold was a Pro Bowler.
And technically, Von Miller didn't really work out for the first year. Now he will work out. I don't want to throw shade on that.
He led the team with 8.5
No, I
sacks.
get it. I know, but he didn't work out because he got hurt. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it ultimately didn't work out for the first year. And it's not done yet, but I'm just saying all the signings last year, a lot of them didn't really pan out.
I love the Daquan Jones signing.
I
want to touch on this one real quick.
You're right. Go ahead.
I want to touch on this real quick.
Yep.
It says next level guys cost next level pay scale, and we can't afford it with Vaughn and Allen. I think that's BS. I don't believe that at all, because you can go down any roster and see that. Let's go to Miami real quick. They're paying Bradley Chubb, Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
You can go down Teron Armstead. They're paying a bunch of these dudes
big money,
top dollar, and they're still bringing in playmakers,
big
like
player,
Jalen Ramsey.
Playmakers, spending money, figuring out.
Yep. So yes, we are paying Josh a lot and Vaughn a lot, but we're also wasting a ton of money on substandard talent.
Right. That's the problem we're having, guys. And then missing out on draft picks where we don't have to pay up a lot of money because they're draft picks, but we're missing key players that could help us out and cost rookie money, which is another problem. So,
like the Jalen Waddles and the Javon Hollins, and if we're looking at Miami alone, they have guys there who are on rookie contracts who are big name players. The Bills, to this point, really, like, we drafted a bunch of rookies last year who could be really good. We just haven't played them. We don't know what they are.
Correct.
Kyer Elam looks like he could be really good. We'll see him more this year. Khalil Shakir. Every time he got on the field, he played really well.
Sure. Yeah.
He just wasn't on the field a ton.
Yep. I agree.
So we go down those, and then we've missed a few. But this isn't all about poo-pooing on the Bills today.
No, definitely not.
Because we talked a little bit about on our Friday one about how we wanted to see Brandon Beane go after the interior offensive line. The first signing he does is Connor McGovern.
So I'm cool with that. Yeah, totally cool with
I was happy to see that. I don't think we're done by any means.
No.
There's still a lot of good free agents out there too. Linebackers, safeties. You know who hasn't gone yet?
Jordan Poyer.
Jordan Poyer.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Now, I will say, was wife has some say in this? Probably. Is she happy with him in Buffalo? We'll see. I'm going to say no. I'm going to be honest with you, Mikey. Even if Poyer wanted to come back to Buffalo, I don't know if his wife's wanting him to. And you know how that is. Happy wife, happy life. So I'm just throwing that out there. She
has taken it to Twitter.
She's talked
and said they haven't said their goodbyes yet. And the reason why is because they're not sure what's happening yet.
I get it.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yep. Any other trades, by the way? today, or not trades? Any other trades or free or signings?
Bills create $32 million in cap space. Restructure Josh Allen and Von Miller.
Oh, it just came through.
Just came through.
All right. Well,
I think someone. Yeah, I think someone was in here already said they saw it. It just hit my phone.
Okay. I thought maybe Brandon Bean was watching. He was like, "Damn, man, Tommy and Mikey, they got it right. I got to get on this. I can't keep I'm eating Taco Bell here, hanging out with McDermott." I guess all right, you know what, Josh?
McDermott's such a Taco Bell guy. He's a Raisin Bran guy, brother.
You're right.
That's his treat.
Beans eating Taco Bell, and McDermott's eating apple or whatever. Right, Raisin Bran. Oh shit, man. But hey, good. So that's a start. Now they know. Now tomorrow we can wake up to some other free agent signings, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else around the NFL that's key? I know the Dolphins are Jalen Ramsey, right?
Yeah, Dolphins got traded for Jalen Ramsey. Sam Darnold signed as a backup in San Francisco.
I saw. And matter of fact, I saw somebody tweet out, now who are we going to get? I have a couple guys that are interesting names I want to throw out there for you because they're backup, because Keenum's gone. A couple guys I would love to have here. Minshew, but I don't know about the money. I'm just throwing guys out I would like to have because he may want a little bit. And I also like Heineke from Washington. I would love
Heineke.
I would love either one of those because they're tough players. Both of them. They're like dogs out there, right? And they're perfect backup situation to come in for a couple games if needed. And I think we could trust the ball in their hand, right? Like they can throw a little bit. They're tough dudes. They can run. I would definitely I would be happy with either one. And I'm sure there's other guys. There's also Mariota, but I think he's going to want some bigger money because he was a starting quarterback.
I think he's going to want to try. So someone I could see, a Carson Wentz, who's had multiple shots, didn't get it.
Even though I hate him.
Jacoby Brissett. I can see.
I wouldn't mind Brissett. I think Brissett's a tough dude, man. Tough quarterback. Good guy. He would definitely.
One I would be really interested in is Drew Lock.
No, not me. I do not like Drew Lock, bro. I don't.
I think Drew Lock would be a better backup than we've had the last couple years.
I can't argue with that. I don't know about better than Trubisky. I thought Trubisky was pretty solid, man, especially what we paid for him.
I
don't know. I don't know about that. I thought Keenum overall, a good guy, funny guy, but from what I saw, honestly, guys, don't be sad about him leaving. I was not impressed.
But I wouldn't mind that. Yeah. You know who else I wouldn't mind? Nick Mullins. Career backup. I mean, he played in San Francisco. He was solid there. I wouldn't mind seeing him come in as a backup.
I agree.
But those are the type of guys so there's still guys out there that we can go get from a quarterback standpoint.
No doubt. That's what I mean. I'm not stressing that Case Keenum left. He was terrible. If any Bills fan can, debate me on that. He was not good when he came in at all. I'm sorry. So losing him, I'm not crying tonight. Believe me.
Yeah, Thomas says he hopes it's not Poyer coming back. He also doesn't want to spend much on a backup, which we don't have.
I don't either. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Some of these guys we probably won't have to. Like a Nick Mullins would probably be, $1 or $2 million.
Exactly. But I would like a veteran.
It's not going to be a ton.
I would like a guy that's been around the league a little bit though, rather than
that's played a little bit.
That's played a little bit rather than go through a draft. Like for instance, the guy we drafted a few years back from Georgia. Can you imagine?
Yeah, Jake Fromm.
Yeah, terrible. I don't want us to draft.
I would rather see Barkley than Fromm. I would rather go into this season with Barkley than rookie backup.
I am good with that. Yes, 100%. But I don't think they'll go that route. They'll probably wind up getting.
I don't think so either.
Like a veteran quarterback, like
Mason Rudolph, for Kyle Allen.
Yeah,
Tyler Heineke, Drew Lock.
Just don't spend a lot. And I don't think they will.
I mean, we can always bring back Nathan Peterman.
No. By the way, they have yet to. I'll get to Brandon Bean's credit. Backup quarterbacks have come cheap so far that he signed. The Trubisky deal was $2 million. Right, it was so cheap. I think we traded for Keenum last year, and I don't think his contract was super high. Right? That I remember.
No, it was 1 year, $3.5 million.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? So
it.
I think Bean's not dumb in that sense. He's not going to go overpay $10 million for Teddy Bridgewater. He's not stupid. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's another free
or give a 2-year, $16 million deal on Mike White.
Right. That's crazy, and that says a lot about Miami. about the Tua situation. I'm very like they're almost like expecting Tua not to last the season and expecting Mike White to come in. I'm just throwing that out there. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I couldn't believe that they gave him 2 years, $16 million.
That's wild. Yeah, but they spent a lot on Bridgewater.
Yeah, they did.
So it's not like they're big spenders on backup quarterbacks.
When you got a quarterback that's like 5'10", $175 soaking wet,
Right. Any more news on that free agency and stuff?
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff out there, but nothing that's like major.
So we got to talking today a little bit through text about I wanted to talk about tonight.
Yeah,
the trades, Brandon Beane's trades since he's been here. Not a lot of them. Not a lot.
Player trades, right? No, not
trade. Not trading a player away for picks. I'm talking about trading getting a player back in return that you think is going to help your team. Just not a lot. Not a lot. It's almost like he's a little nervous and squeezing the triggers. And we talked about this. Almost like it goes back to the Benjamin situation. It's almost like he pulled he pulled the trigger there. And I almost feel like he's just a little nervous to pull the trigger. Now, he pulled the trigger on the Diggs trade, but that was a no-brainer. Kind of, right? Like, and I don't know. We talked about this. He won the trade, but did he win it? I think it was an even trade for both teams. They got their guy. We got our guy. So I'm going to say that's not a win, but it worked out great for both teams. And then you got the Hines trade we said was a win. We think it's a win. I think it is. He gave up Moss, who was not working out anyways. We'd wind up cutting him. But other than that, guys, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, Mikey, is because I see in Twitter, come on, Bills, make a trade, or analysts going, the Bills could trade for Derrick Henry, or this would be a perfect trade for the Bills, and it never happens. Never. It's like, Brandon Beane now comes out later. He always comes out at the end of the season. Well, we were in talks, but it was only talking for it's never was something serious.
We're always in talks. Right. We were in talks for Jalen Ramsey. We were in talks for Christian McCaffrey.
Right.
We were in talks for,
but it never went far. It was always just,
we never pulled the trigger.
What do you think, though? Why? What is it? Even in-season trades, he just hates it.
Honestly, I don't think he likes to give up the assets.
Yeah,
for the person.
I got to say, that's a little McDermott. That little where he's stubborn.
I don't think that has anything to do. Yeah,
no. I'm saying sometimes you gotta. He loves picks. We all know that he loves his draft picks. But sometimes
those two guys grew up together.
If you give up, no, I get it. Yeah, that's why I think sometimes they're on the same
wavelength.
Wavelength. Yeah, man. It's just Beane is stubborn too, man. Beane has his ways about him. That he likes certain things certain ways, but sometimes that backfires. And it has. Think about it, Mikey. What has Beane been stubborn about that didn't work out, right? Bringing back Trent Murphy, right? Keeping around the one guy that you hated on the defensive line. I don't even remember his name because I hated him so much. Yeah, Butler. You know what I mean? Certain guys we had the opportunity to get rid of, and he's
that came over from freaking Carolina. It's Carolina's connections,
right? I just feel like sometimes he's a little stubborn on certain guys. And that has the McDermott in him. They're on the same wavelength. They're on the same. No. Sometimes, man, it backfires, man. I hate it, man.
LJ, what are you talking about? You want to trade a first or a second for Eckler and then have to pay him on top of that?
Yeah, no, that's
You're
crazy. Not happening. And I wouldn't want. Listen, I like Eckler. I do. But listen, if they're going to trade for a running back, there's only one guy I would be cool with, and that's Derrick Henry. And it depends. I would be cool with the second round. I
wouldn't even want to trade for him. Because here's the thing. We just signed an interior offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Who's a pass blocking interior offensive lineman.
I get it. But Henry, the difference is Derrick Henry doesn't need a great offensive line to tear through a hole.
He's a bowling ball.
You know what I mean? Not only a bowling ball, he's a huge bowling ball. Yeah. You know what I mean? He is a massive dude. Yeah, he's everything that the Bills fans, I think, have been screaming, we want this, and it's listen,
you want that big bruiser,
right? Who could do it a lot, right? He's not the best pass catching back, but he can still pass catch. I've seen him do it. But that's what you got. That's what you got Cook for,
or
right?
Hines,
or Hines. So why not? Listen, if he's available and you think you could squeeze it in and make it happen, and it's not unreasonable asking for Derrick Henry, hell yeah, you pull the trigger. For that kind of player, they don't come around a lot, Mikey. That's why I'm saying they don't. Just like the Von Miller. Von Millers don't come around a lot. So that's why they pulled the trigger on Von and said, you know what, we're going to pony up and just pay him what he wants. I think Derrick Henry, he could provide, we talked about this, 2 or 3 years of solid football. And if we can't win a Super Bowl in 2 to 3 years with Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Stephon Diggs, Von Miller, I mean, then you know what? It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
So I want to touch on this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thomas comes in and says, come on, boys, need a line. Here's the deal. After today, Thomas, we have 4 starting linemen that they're going to roll with next year. It's going to be Dawkins, Dawkins and Bates probably on the left, Morris and McGovern, and then we have Spencer Brown penciled in. But then we have Bakker as a backup, guard. We still have a few backup spots. We'll probably bring in another tackle. I'm guessing he'll probably be in the draft. We also have Doyle coming back. So when you say we need a line, there's not going to be a ton more assets put into our line after this signing today. I would like to see it. I would love to see it.
And they're getting paid big money, by the way.
But McGovern is 25.
Right.
He's a young guy.
He's durable. He gets switched most positions.
He fits their athletic, lineman type, and this is what they run with. At the end of the day, I mean, I would love to see us get some big bruisers to run the ball a little bit more to take some pressure off of Josh.
Yeah,
we're a passing team.
No, I get it.
The signing today tells me that it's not going to change.
Maybe we'll see. I still think there's an opportunity to, even if it's not Derrick Henry, Foreman would be a good one.
I love Foreman.
I'd like
Foreman
more
because of the assets. Yeah.
We'll get into it. We're about to get into it, but there is guys out there that even if you don't get a Henry, you still can get that power back. But I agree with you. We're still a pass team, but I don't know if that, listen, if we build our offensive line a little bit better than it's been, get a running back in here that could actually run between the tackles, then maybe we're not 70-30 pass heavy. We're 60-40. You know what I mean? We're somewhat, balanced, but we'll see. We'll see who we bring in, man. Because I can tell you right now, if we don't bring in a bigger back and it's James Cook and a rookie guy they pull in here or smaller back, it's going to be 70-30 again. It's just the way it is, man.
Yeah. And we'll get into the offensive side for free agency of who's still out there, who we'd like to see come in as we're opening up some cap. With those 2 moves, we just cleared a bunch of cap room. So Bean will start to do his stuff. So we'll get into that. But I know you wanted to talk a little bit more about this trade. So we've had Benjamin, who has been, that was just a bust. Didn't work out.
Didn't work out. Terrible.
And then who else did we bring in after that? Diggs, right? We traded for Diggs.
Yeah. We tried it. I'm a back up. We tried to trade for Antonio Brown. It was pretty much done, but he stopped.
And then Brown said no.
That would have been a terrible, by the way. Would have been a bad trade. But anyways, that did not work out. So good. So go ahead. Diggs, right?
So then we had Diggs. We brought in Marlowe last year. We brought in a Hines last year. We haven't traded for actual players very much.
Right. Yeah,
we're in the discussion for a ton of them.
Lot.
We don't pull the trigger. Like even we were talking about Von Miller in 2021 when he won the Super Bowl with the Rams. We were in that discussion to get him, and we didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, there's guys though. It's frustrating though. I go say because there's guys that. When the Chiefs traded mid-season, like during the trade deadline.
Oh, there are. LJ is talking about this. Delvin Cook to the Bills for a 3rd and a 2nd next year. There is discussion about Delvin Cook coming to an AFC team.
I heard that talk. I did too, but we'll see. Once again, this is why we're talking about bringing. Because it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen, Mikey. It's so when I see a trade that the Bills made and they're bringing a player, I'm shocked now. It's like we just don't make those kind of moves. We just don't. and we should more. And you know what, too? In season trades, man, getting a guy in here, for a third, fourth round pick that could be a difference maker. It's so frustrating when other teams do it and we don't. It seems like we just, I don't know, man. Bean's very picky, stubborn about what he wants to give up, draft pick wise, right? Because it's like, damn, what is a fourth round pick, bro? Like, it's not like you've been nailing some of these picks, bro. It's okay, it's all right.
Get a proven player.
Right. Get a guy could come in here. I mean, you did it once with Diggs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it worked out for Minnesota too, but at least it worked. Listen, and not every trade's gonna work out. Sometimes it is what it is, just like drafting a player. But damn, dude, sometimes you gotta roll the dice, especially when you know what value he brings to the team. It just seems like we just I don't know, being stuck in his ways.
So Thomas comes in and asks, "Do you guys like Dalvin Cook?" To me, he's okay, not more than that.
I think he didn't play that great last year. I will say that. But Minnesota's turning into a pass heavy kind of team last year, so they kind of reduced him a little bit. I still would be cool with him coming. I would be, but I still want that.
I would get over it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Depends on what he costs from an asset standpoint. If it's not a lot, if it's like third or below, I'd get over it and bring him over.
Yeah, I would definitely get over it. Him,
yeah,
But I wouldn't be screaming. I wouldn't be running around.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, I think honestly, I would be more like on the Derrick Henry thing because I think he's just. I mean, I'm not saying Dalvin Cook is bad. I'm just saying like that's the kind of player we need on this team. You know what I mean? I like Dalvin Cook, but I don't know. I still like
Cook's an all-around back. So
he is an all-around back, but he's also not as physical as a runner where our offensive line is still not really set. And I don't know if it's, capable yet of being that run blocking team that Dalvin Cook still needs blockers. And I don't know, man. I listen, if you're going to do a trade, like we talked earlier, man, there's only a few guys that I would, want that's out there, man. And I would say the Henry, the Simmons, if they were willing to give Simmons up like a package deal. Oh my God. They're not. It ain't happening. I know it's dreamland for me. It's dreamland for me, but
so let me ask Daniel a question. Daniel comes and said they traded a seventh for Dean Marlowe last year. Do you think that was a good trade?
You talking to me?
See no.
I'm gonna say no, because they didn't use him. But one game. It didn't even work out. We got our ass kicked.
Yeah, it was more for Daniel. I want to know if he thought that was a good trade.
All
like
right.
When they traded for him, I was super stoked because I expected us to 100%. Use him more, and we needed safety help. And then it just never materialized. They just never used him. Kind of like Hines. The reason why I gave Hines a win is because of his special teams production.
Right.
He still produced. We gave up Moss in a fifth for a guy who was really good on special teams.
Not only was he good at special teams, it was something that we were missing. Like we lacked a guy that was reliable in the kick return, punt return game. You know what I mean, Mikey? Like that was a need. Like I was cool with it because I'm like, hey, all right, you're not gonna use him. At least he's doing this very well. So, that was 100% a win because it was something that we were doing terrible at. Like, we didn't know who was going to be our kicker return.
I mean, we tried Jaquan Johnson at safety. We tried Cam Lewis at safety.
Khalil, Shakir.
Yeah. I mean, at safety, too. We never gave Marlowe a shot.
Never.
We never gave him a shot until Hamlin went down. And then they're like, okay, here he goes for the playoffs.
Right.
It was bad.
It was bad.
Chuckles is right though. I believe Marlowe was a safe trade. I don't think it's a win or a loss. It is what it is. It was a safe trade.
It wasn't a seventh round. Yeah, who cares about seventh round?
It's a flyer. It was a very safe trade. So Daniel answered, he thought it was good value given the safety depth. We should have used him more. I agree. I think it was a very good value trade for us. We just didn't use him right.
Correct. That's it.
I hate that. So there is a question in here, Tommy. I wanted to get your take on. Where is it? Right here. Dallas comes in and asks, I heard the Broncos receivers are available. Thoughts on them? if it's true. So you're talking about Courtland Sutton. You're talking about Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler. Any of those guys, give you a tingle?
No. Sutton's not bad. I don't mind Sutton, but I'm not trying to trade for a receiver, man. I'll be honest with you. Depending on what they want, but it's not where the Bills need to be concentrating right now if they're going to make a trade. If you're going to make a trade, make it count, man. You know what I mean? That's why I keep telling you. Like, none of those guys.
What do you want then?
Like, honestly, Gabe Davis, Sutton, I'd rather have Davis fine. Receiver-wise,
No, I'm saying you want him to make a trade. What do you want to make a trade for?
I told you. So if we're going to make a trade, I'm good with a running back, which would be Henry's the only guy. Right? Now, another trade, I wouldn't mind a defensive line. Okay? If you're going to get rid of Oliver, bring in a lineman, okay? A tackle or whatever, you know what I mean? A defensive lineman or a safety if you're not going to sign Poyer. Those three or a linebacker. I'm good with the linebacker too. It just depends, but I'm not. Listen, right now, man, if you're going to make a trade, make it count is all I'm saying. Like, I don't want a small trade I don't need that right now. Like, I don't think the Bills need that. I think the Bills, if you're going to pull off a big trade, man, make it count is what I'm saying. I don't want to
Hopkins. Is that a big enough trade for you?
Yes, I would be totally good with Hopkins
from a wide receiver. So you want 100%. That marquee guy. If we're going to make a trade, we want to make that splash.
If you're going to make a trade, make it exactly. Make it count, man.
Okay.
Make it a big. Make it a guy that could come and they go and we go. Yes, that guy's going to make a difference. You know what I mean? Not a guy who's like, well, he could fit the role and
he has potential. We've always saw the potential.
Maybe we can squeeze him in here, right? It's like, no, man. I want a guy where we trade and we all go back. Bills Mafia on Twitter's going, right? Like, oh my God, right? Like, we just got this. You know what I mean? This guy's an instant playmaker. Like Von Miller. When we signed Von Miller, that was the whole craziness because we weren't supposed. Bean said we weren't going to get any big names, and that was that's what put us over, right? Like that's where it was like, oh my God, like he's a difference maker. So if you're going to do a trade, make it happen, make it count. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Bean doesn't do that often, but he did it with Diggs. So I will say he did it once.
But the thing with Diggs, it again. He traded for Diggs when Diggs was headed into his prime. No, Hopkins deal. Hopkins is coming out of his prime,
but he's
on the tail end of his prime.
He's but we can say that with Henry too, right? And like Henry's decreased a little bit, but they're both studs still. Like honestly, look at our roster. Take Derrick Henry, put him in running back, instant, way better than any running back we've had since Shady. Put DeAndre Hopkins next to Diggs, way better than any second, next to Diggs that we had in a long time. I like Gabe Davis. I love Cole Beasley. I like John Brown. But come on, you're going to compare Hopkins to those three guys? No way. No. Hopkins come in instantly. At least
he's a monster.
He's a monster. Not only that, he's a receiver that we haven't had also in a long time. A bigger, physical receiver, especially in
a guy who goes up and will make
those up. I think we all know about that. Yeah, the contested
Hail Murray
thing. Yeah, so that guy would be, I'm good with that.
LJ comes in and talks about Robert Woods. Would have been great.
He's gone. Yep.
He went to Houston on a 2-year, $15 million deal. I couldn't believe what they got him for. Got him for a song.
Yep.
Just,
is what it is.
Yes, Beth. Beth's right.
Hey, Beth.
Bean likes his draft picks. He won't part with them.
I
just won't do it.
It's frustrating. I don't mind draft picks when you're rebuilding. I'll be honest with you. If you're rebuilding and you're just, you know what, you're like, F it. We're going to, like kind of like the Titans maybe are doing right now. They're trying to get rid of, and they're just saying, hey, we're going to start all over. We're going to roll this thing back. I don't mind that. If that's what you're doing, you're going to, and then you get your money back, right? You start and then you go big on spending spree. But it's like, dude, right now, bro, we're like, honestly, we are a few players away from where we need to be to get to the Super Bowl. It's like, dude, you're not going to get we're not, you don't have draft picks where we're in the top 10 where you can get like a stud. You'd have to get lucky with a player in the late rounds, right? Late picks in these. So it's like, bro, go make it happen, man. with a trade. You know what I mean? Give up that third. It's not that big of a deal right now, man. We are trying to win. Right? Like you said, I think 3 shows ago, Josh Allen's not getting any younger. You don't want to waste away
I don't want to waste his his peak.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want right, and then we're back to square one where we're trying to get a quarterback in. Then it's all over. Then it's like rebuilding time. Then we're going to start all over again, guys. And
no, I don't think Josh is close to being.
No, I don't either.
By any means,
as the years go on,
but we're going into year 6.
Right.
This is he's going into his prime years as an an athlete.
Right.
Let's get him over.
And trust me when I tell you, frustrations, as you can see from Diggs, they eventually pile up. And I know Josh Allen's here. We gave him his contract. But losing usually year after year, or not making a Super Bowl, not winning one, eventually players want out. They want to move on. They want to get an opportunity to finally win one before they retire.
The trust the process only goes so far before it stops being, just
and players want out. We don't want to get there. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, no, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So frustrating. Okay, Tommy, let's dig into the free agent side of things on offense.
Hey yo.
So let's bring them up on offense.
I gotta zoom that thing in, man. I can't see.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm blind.
I got you, brother. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
So on offense, we had Case Keenum, Devin Singletary, Tywan Jones, Jake Kumaro, Jameson Crowder, Tommy Sweeney, Roger Saffold, Ike Bacher, who we already brought back, Greg Van Roten, Bobby Hart, David Quessenberry, and Justin Murray. So what are we looking for? We're looking for QB depth. Mm-hmm. We need a cheap QB2 that has experience. A rotational running back, wide receiver depth, because we have Davis, Diggs, and Shakir. McKenzie's still on the roster, so I have no idea if they're planning on keeping him this year. That's only 4 receivers, so we need to bring in more. Tight end 2. I would love to see us get an actual run blocking tight end 2.
Mm-hmm.
I originally pegged this as a starter and depth on the interior line. We signed the starter today, and Connor McGovern.
Yeah, we did.
So we still need depth in there, and then OT depth, offensive tackle depth. So when we look at that, we'll jump on over to the free agent tracker.
Oh, real quick, by the way, because we don't say it. We don't say it a lot. Is anyone watching this now or later? Hit the like button, subscribe.
Oh yeah,
hit the notification bell. Super chats are always welcome. Yeah, please, because we never say it, and then I wonder why. Like, we're only getting 1 subscriber a month because I never say it. And we get a lot of new people sometimes coming here and I forget to say it. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, notification bell, super chats. Thank you. Go ahead.
LJ, what are you talking about? We're going to talk about Bill's money. Their cap space? Because they freed up a crap ton of cap space.
We just did it. Literally. We were complaining about when they're going to do it like 20 minutes ago. They did it.
So they could get up to like 60 or 70 million if they pulled all the levers, which we don't think Brandon Beane's going to do. We think he's going to sit around 30 plus, 25 to 35. That's where I see it. Yep. Is probably where he's expected to sit.
Mm-hmm.
And Connor McGovern's contract, his year 1 cap hit is $4 million.
Right.
So it's not a ton of money.
Yep.
Which is
I think the one thing I will say what's really good about Beane too, it's very good with the wheeling and dealing with the money. Okay. There's a lot of good things, but yeah, the money I think is going to be okay. Like he knows what he's doing with this. Go ahead.
Okay. So he was talking about
that's what I figured.
So, yep. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, at the end of the day, we'll get into this. Adam Thielen is on my list, so we'll get into it. We're going to start with quarterbacks.
Yep.
So when we look at quarterbacks, here are the quarterbacks that come off the board already: Carr, Garoppolo, Mike White, Jarrett Stidham, Case Keenum, Sam Darnold, all off the board.
Mm-hmm.
Who's left? Carson Wentz, Mariota, Baker, Teddy, Rudolph, Brissett, Flacco, Dalton, Kyle Allen, Heineke, which I know that's the guy that you really want. You really want Heineke.
I do. Heineke or Minshew would be really just dog players, man. Love them.
Yeah,
I do.
Chase Daniels, Nick Mullins, Drew Lock, Brandon Allen. So those are your 2.
Yeah.
I already told you I wouldn't mind seeing a Drew Lock because he has the upside to him.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get a Kyle Allen, a Jacoby Brissett,
Yeah.
a
See,
Mason
Brissett, I
type.
want to hate Brissett either. Like, I'm good with that if they got Brissett. We've seen him play. Shit, we played him this year, and he dogged us out. They did the opposite on us. They passed, and he passed for like 300
Yeah,
yards. He's a solid player as a backup.
he's a
right?
solid backup. He's a solid backup.
Solid, 100%. Who else there? I don't like Rudolph, by the way. And I do like Mariota, but I think he's going to want bigger money. So it's just like I'm not trying to spend a lot of money on a backup quarterback either. You know what I mean? Some of these guys are going to want a little bit of pay. Bridgewater, even if he came in cheap, he just gets hurt a lot, man. Like he seems like he's one of these guys you just can't count on him as far as durability comes in. So God forbid if he had to come and got hurt, right? Like he did in Miami, and then it's like hurt his thumb, he can't play.
Yeah,
it's like
bring Dalton home. I want no part of the red rifle.
No,
did you watch him play last year?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, if we're talking 2 years ago, no problem. For a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think Dalton's time is done, man. I got to be honest.
He was bad last year.
Yeah. Yep.
He was bad last year. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Kyle Allen. He has some mobility to him. Brissett has some mobility to him. We'd love to see a Mariota, but let's be honest, he's probably looking for a shot at being a stopgap somewhere.
Exactly. Yep.
Who else is out there? Cooper Rush, Wolford, Trace McSorley, Gardner. I think Gardner's also one of those guys. But man, he looked bad, Tommy, in the little bit of time he got with the Eagles. He did not look good.
He had a couple games where he did, though. There was a couple games. I think he had a comeback game where he won. I think his dad was there in the stadium or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, he's a quarterback that won't be a starter, like where you can count on him being, 18 weeks, 17 games. Like I want to count on him. But as a backup, I think he's a feisty guy, bro. He has a decent arm. He can run. By the way, dude, he's a good teammate. Like he's like always like hyped. He's just you can just tell like he's a good player, man. Like he's a good overall backup.
Man,
100%. I would
him and Josh, the Minshew mania with
Oh, dude, can you? I would love it. I'm telling you. And Bill's Mafia would love him, bro. They would open arms. They would love his personality, everything about him. You know what I mean?
All right. So let's switch over to running backs. There's only been 2 so far. Mike Boone and Matt Breida. Mike Boone, 2 years, $3 million. Matt Breida, 1 year, 2.4.
Mm-hmm.
So Chase Edmonds still out there. Kareem Hunt, Rashard Penny, Jamal Williams, Mark Ingram, Mostert, Foreman, who, oh my God, give me some.
I like Foreman.
Donta Foreman.
Yep.
P. Ryan, Ronald Jones, Miles Sanders, McKinnon, Latavius Murray, Jeff Wilson, Kenyon Drake, Justin Jackson, Marlon Mack, David Montgomery, Singletary. I wouldn't mind a Damian Harris type because he's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
He can run between the tackles.
Mm-hmm. Has a little speed to him too.
James Robinson.
Yeah.
So of all these guys, Tommy, who would you like to see come in?
Well, 100%. So we're going to start with, I wouldn't mind Kareem Hunt. I just don't think I think he's going to want a little bit more money than we're going to want to pay him. But I wouldn't mind him if they could somehow figure something out that's reasonable. I told you that last year. If you're going to try to make a trade for a running back that's a goal line type bigger back who has some, legs still in him, still has some good speed too. I wouldn't mind him, but I don't think it's going to happen. Jamal Williams, I like a lot. I do think, he would be perfect especially in the red zone. Something once again that we've been missing. Short yards, a running back who can pick up 2 yards on a 3rd and 2. I think he would be the guy. And then also was scroll down. Oh, Foreman. Would love Foreman on this team. Another guy that you could count on in the red zone, a bigger back. I've got short yards when we needed. Like, what's one thing last year, Mikey? Or really not last year, forever now.
Is we've been saying we wanted Josh to stop being our short yarded back.
Right. Exactly. And these guys that
it's why you want Henry. It's why you want Henry.
100%. 100%. You need a guy that you can count on when 2 yards are needed. When 1 yard is needed. I mean, goddamn, there's plays where it's 3rd and 1, and we still ran out. We were still afraid to hand it off to the running backs because we knew they couldn't. And when we did, a lot of the times they didn't get it. Hand off Zach Moss, stuffed. It's like, so these guys, I think, even with an average offensive line, could at least get us a tough 2 yards. You know what I mean? Like, so yes, I would love those guys.
Be red zone threats outside of Josh. Right now, it's everything's Josh make a play. Either run in or make a play and throw it in. Jamal Williams, I would love to have him with his touchdown production last year. I have a feeling he's going to get a little bit more money, or he's going to want more money than we're going to be willing to offer.
He may.
Foreman is a guy who I would love to have. I could see us going for someone like Mark Ingram, though, who's just a banger.
I
don't want it.
Nope.
I wouldn't want it, but I can see us doing that.
I know he is. I know he's a tough son of a bitch. I just think, man, he's been in the league a long time. I think his tires have really worn out.
Eroded off?
Yeah. Like Mark Ingram's been around a minute, bro. And I just
They're bald. They're bald. It's time to change them.
I'm good with not getting Mark Ingram, man.
Beth comes in and says she really feels like we're going to trade for a running back. Seems like there's better options that we can give away some of that cap with that. So, I mean,
only one guy, man. I'd be good. I told you, Beth. You've been here
later, Thomas. Thank you, brother.
Hey, be good, Thomas.
Yeah, Pierre. We talked about Delvin Cook already. We would, I won't be mad. I want to see what it's going to cost to get and what his contract's going to look like. But it is what it is.
You can work Henry's deal out. By the way, know your role. I don't think
Henry's not going to be cheap.
Yeah. I don't think it's crazy.
I think they're going to want a second or more for him.
I would be willing to do that, though. I don't think that's craziness for a guy that can, even if he gives you 2 years. Let's say hypothetically, it's all he has left. My God, 2 years with Josh Allen stuff. I mean, we just went through this. I mean, he's a game changer, Mikey. That's the guy that will get you to a Super Bowl. I mean, he will. He's the missing. That will be a missing piece that we.
Here's what I'm going to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
He needs carries to get going in a game. Are you willing to take 10 to 15 plays away from Josh and put him in his hands?
Sure. Yeah, I am, because you see at the end of. Listen, I'll tell you why. You see teams are now starting to play the Buffalo Bills a little bit different now. They know the play actions don't work as much because they know we're not handing the ball off. If you have a Derrick Henry back there, Mikey, and you play action pass, it will probably work because Derrick Henry is going to get the ball more often, right, than we have been in the past for other running backs, correct? Like, teams are going to fear. If we hand off the ball to Derrick Henry, he's going to gash you. Or we hand off the ball, no offense, I love Devin Singletary. Big difference. Huge difference. Teams are going to come into the box more. Am I right or wrong? I'm just saying. So that opens up Josh Allen a lot better, Mikey, for play actions. A lot, right? It gets the defense guessing. Yes, 100%. If we had a back like that, trust me when I would tell you, I believe Ken Dorsey would definitely mix in the run a lot more and get a little bit more creative on the play action passes that no team, and me and Curtis, by the way, from Ace Per Head talked about this. He said it, and I agree. No teams know what we're doing now. There's no surprise. We are not running the ball. RPOs aren't. We never hand the ball off because we can't trust our running backs. If you have a Derrick Henry in there, an RPO, Mike, that's dangerous. No, I'm just saying. Line. I get it, but why I'm saying Henry is, I get what you're saying on the line, but Derrick Henry is the kind of guy, he doesn't need a great offensive line to like a Devin Singletary, where he needs that big kind of hole to at least, get 10 yards. You know what I'm saying? Derrick Henry can literally run your first guy over or your other. We know this. We've seen this where he's caught up in the backfield and he'll just throw you 10 yards, right? Stiff arm you. Like, we haven't had that in forever, Mikey. And yeah, man, I think we would work. It would be beautiful if we could have a guy like that on the team. I don't think it's going to happen. I'll be honest with you. I don't, but I would absolutely love it. I would love it. And I think Bills Mafia would freaking go wild, bro. Wild.
Like I said, I'd get over it if we traded for him. I don't think we will. I
Yeah,
wouldn't be
I
happy
agree.
about giving up a second for him, but it is. I'd get over it.
Second. Yeah.
What do you guys think about taking a tackle in round 1, turn Brown into a blocking tight end, and teach him to catch the ball over the middle? If you know anything about Brown, he was a tight end in high school.
Yeah, but he is bad.
He didn't start.
He didn't
start playing tight end
I
or
don't think he
tackle
could do
until
it.
college.
Nano's his back thing
As a
going
tight end
on with
too?
him. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, Mikey. I still have faith in him at that spot, man. I just think he needs to get more work. I think he needs to get more. I think his off seasons need to get. I think he needs to go to whatever camp, right, that offensive linemen go to improve his skills, because I still think he's so raw that we see them. Yeah, we see the
4
mistakes.
years in
That's what I mean.
college.
Exactly. So, but you can also see the potential there, right? Like when he gets out, like he is so athletic, bro. I've seen him make bulldoze people, right?
He's a better run blocker than pass blocker.
100%. When he gets, so I just think if he can work on his game a little bit, maybe he can turn around and turn into a overall better, tackle. We'll see. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't
also
know.
Remember, he didn't have an offseason last year. He had surgery and was rehabbing the whole thing, so he didn't actually have an offseason to work on anything. So
I'm not giving up on him yet. Yeah, I'm just not giving up on him yet.
I would like to see us bring in another young guy, because Dion is getting older, and I don't need the guy to come in and start right away if Spencer Brown beats him out. But I would like to see us bring in another young guy.
Yeah, I'm totally good with that.
Is Connor McGovern any good? Yes. He's more of a pass blocker than a run blocker, and his grades show that. He's stout and he anchors really well. So those you saw a lot this year. The defensive tackles getting in Josh's face, which caused a lot of problems because Josh then didn't have anywhere to go. McGovern will help with that. He's a sturdy body up front. He is a better pass blocker than run blocker. He's not a horrible run blocker.
So
he's an average run blocker and above average pass blocker.
I got this stat pulled up by our buddy over at Banged Up Bills.
Yep.
So on McGovern. So he missed his rookie year with a torn pectoral muscle in 2019. After that, he only missed 2 games. He missed 2 games in 2022. Otherwise, incredibly durable. So yeah, man. I mean, listen. This is what we've been wanting, a durable offensive lineman that we don't need to worry about going down. That's another thing that the Bills have been struggling with, offensive linemen staying healthy forever.
Yeah.
Like we cannot have a starting lineup for the whole. It's like every other week we have like this musical chairs at offensive line. It's terrible.
Or like guys off-season surgery who don't get to practice all off-season and then don't come back until right before the season starts.
Yeah, and dude, guys, like we need guys that could stay on the field together. They build chemistry together. Like they have to.
We haven't had the same starting offensive line in Josh's entire tenure.
Nope. Yeah, no. Nope. So it's a very important. We need to get these guys like that.
So let's jump into the receivers. Robert Woods so far is the only one who signed. We have Adam Thielen, Robbie Anderson, Nelson Aguilar, DJ Chark, who I would love to DJ Chark. He's that big body that we've been talking about, who's fast. He's going to cost some money, though. Randall Cobb, Marvin Jones, Julio Jones, Byron Pringle, Alan Lazard. I wouldn't mind taking him on a flyer. I really wouldn't.
Julio?
Because he wasn't horrible in Tampa Bay.
No, he actually made some play. I think he had like a game-winning catch for them. I just remember
once he got healthy.
When he was a freak, though, man. Golly, he was so good.
He's 34 now.
No, I know. I'm just saying when he was young, my God, he was the guy. He was the guy, man. Go ahead, Mike.
Jacoby Myers, Juju Smith-Schuster, Jarvis Landry, Chris Sims, N'Keal Harry, Mac Hollins, Jameson Crowder, Sammy Watkins.
Sammy.
Keenan Cole, Bashard Perryman.
Sammy
Watkins. He's only 29. He's been around. He's been around forever.
He's like 49 in football. He's like so beaten up always.
Yeah. Goodwin, Cole Hardman, Paris Campbell. I'd love a Paris Campbell. He's just so fast.
Yeah, solid player.
Noah Brown, Demir Bird, Trent Sheffield. I mean,
ton of
Philip
receivers.
Dorsett,
Oh my god,
Demarcus Robinson. There is a ton of them out there.
I mean, a ton. T.Y. Hilton, who wasn't terrible.
T.Y. Hilton.
By the way,
No, he wasn't terrible in Dallas at all.
Like, why couldn't we pick him
Marquez Callaway
there the whole time? Yeah,
a young kid who had big plays for the Saints last year.
Yeah,
he's sitting out there.
Yep.
Oh,
look who's on the bottom there.
Look who's on the bottom. Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh my.
So when you look at it here, there's plenty of them out there. I love an Adam Thielen type.
Sure.
DJ Chark is DJ Chark is my dream pick because man, you can put him on the outside. He's fast and he's big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can do some damage with a guy like that.
Remember when Robbie Anderson was got paid and he
big
just
name.
Yeah, big name. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah. I would love a flyer on a Julio. Because he's still got speed,
like a cheapy deal, like a vet
hand.
deal. Yeah.
Get a 1 year, $3 million, something like that.
Right.
I wouldn't mind that. Juju actually played way better than I thought. I have a feeling he's going back to Kansas City.
I do too.
I'd love to have him here because he's also plays the slot. I would love to have Juju in Buffalo.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling he's going back to Kansas City.
Yeah, he seemed to really like flourish there, and he likes it there. He's won a damn Super Bowl.
And Andy Reid, and all his creativeness there, and Patrick Mahomes, hard not to like it there.
And it's not, and you know what, too? He doesn't have to be the guy all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because Travis Kelce is the guy.
Right. So there's no pressure. You know what I mean? You can make some bad, plays here and there. Like, it's going to be all right.
Yeah. So, and then there's the trade option also for the wide receivers. They're talking about, Courtland Sutton, the Denver receivers. They've talked about Cooper Kupp has been rumored to be out on the market.
I heard that too, but yeah, it's a lot of money. Probably, man. Yeah, figure that out.
Oh God, it's so much money.
Mm-hmm.
Not it's assets and money. So let's look at tight ends real quick. 2 tight ends that signed so far: Josh Oliver, 3 years, $21 million for a blocking tight end. And Chris Manhertz, 2 years, $6 million. That's more of my style, $3 million. But Gesicki, Dalton Schultz, Austin Hooper, Robert Tonyan, Hayden Hurst.
We love Gesicki, but he's going to get broken off. He's a good. I
wouldn't want Gesicki. Gesicki's not a tight end. He's more of a slot receiver.
But he's still a good tight end.
I would love a Robert Tonyan Jr. I'd love a Tonyan.
Yeah,
give me a Tonyan all day long.
Yep.
Guy who can block and catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Arnold,
Mercedes Lewis, seen him forever. Another guy's been around.
Kyle Rudolph, Irv Smith.
Irv
Smith is.
Remember when we were trying to get him? There was rumors or something like that, trading for him. Never happened.
Irv Smith wouldn't be a bad pickup. Young kid, athletic, was really good in college, just never really flourished. And now that Hawkinson's in Minnesota, he's out on the market. Oh, our boy Tyler Kroft's out there still.
I'll pass. Guy's still hurt. His foot.
Yeah, we talked about D-Hop earlier.
Yep.
Is a weaker dog. Yeah, Tonyan is a weaker Dawson Knox. I think he's a better blocker than Dawson Knox.
Not a lot of good tight ends, though. I'll be honest with you here. That on this list, not anybody.
OJ Howard.
Yeah, get OJ back. Yeah. Right. We just trade him off.
Like honestly, the best tight ends are the Dalton Schultz. He's more of a pass catcher. Mike Gesicki,
I like Schultz.
Pass catcher.
Yep, but he's gonna want a little bit of money. I don't think we're gonna pony up.
Hooper and Hurst are decent. Underrated guys. Love Dan Arnold as an underrated guy.
Yeah, he wasn't bad a few years ago. He put up some numbers actually. Yeah.
Drew Sample. He played fantastic last year in a reserve role for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Irv Smith would probably be the guy that I would like because he's young and he's athletic that we could do a lot with. But who knows what he's going to be looking at getting. So
that's rough though. There's not a lot of guys crazy.
Nope. So let's go look at our offensive line. We'll finish this up with some offensive line, Tommy.
All right.
So here's the offensive lineman who's gone. McGlinchey, Taylor, Nate Davis, Dillard. Dillard got 3 years and $30 million from Tennessee to be the new left tackle. Good for Dillard. Connor McGovern in Buffalo.
Yeah, there he is.
Bradley Bozeman went to stayed in Carolina for 3 years in 18. Nick Gates went to Washington for 3 years in 16. Kelvin Beachum and Brett Toth does not have actual numbers yet, but they were drafted. Ben Powers actually got broke off. He got 4 years, $52 million.
Damn. Okay.
So he got double. He got over double what Connor McGovern got, which is nuts. Orlando Brown Jr. still out there. Taylor Lewan, Donovan Smith, Glasgow, Rodney Hudson, George Fant.
One would be interesting depending on how much money he wants, just even as a backup. You know what I mean? I don't know where he feels his role is right now as like a starting. You know what I mean?
He said his knees. He needs his knees healthy first. He says he's been beat up.
Yeah, no, he has. He was a dog, man, for a long time.
I'd much rather see a George Fant than a Taylor Lewan.
I agree. Only because he's so beaten up, man. Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Yep. Then there's the other Connor McGovern, the Jets version of him.
Yes.
Jason Kels, who is coming back and will resign with the Eagles.
Yeah, I heard that today. Yep.
Justin Pugh, Gabe Jackson, Ben Jones, Roger Saffold.
Hey, Saffold.
Matt Pryor. Isaac Sumalo. I was surprised I did not see his name today. With all the big money that went out for interior offensive linemen, I'm surprised I didn't see him. He was probably the best interior offensive lineman in free agency. So I wonder if he's looking for more money than what people are willing. I mean, Ben Jones got 4 for 52. Is he asking for tackle money?
Yeah.
The 4 for 80. Is he asking for that $20 million? Yeah, so that's nuts. Cam Irving.
You don't see a lot of good offensive linemen in free agency because smart teams lock them up, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of Garrett Bradbury still there.
Yeah.
Trey Turner, Riley Reif.
Yeah.
Jesse Davis, Isaiah Wynn, who just has flamed out in
I know.
New England.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Caleb McGarry, Andrew Wiley got paid. Jason Peters, 41, still out there.
God, it'd be cool just to have. And he actually didn't play bad when he came last year. I think where did he go? Dallas last year? Was it Dallas?
Yeah. He went and played in Dallas last year.
Didn't do terrible. I gotta be honest with you. For his
they had that Smith kid, the rookie Smith. They played him at guard so they could put Peters at tackle.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate it for 1 year. Come back to Buffalo, just play. Finish out your career here if you wanted to do that.
Start it and finish it in Buffalo.
Yeah,
as a cool, reserve.
Man.
Yeah. Greg Little and Cody Ford, the two guys that everyone was thinking the Bills were going to take in that same draft. Mm-hmm. Just that have busted out, both of those guys. Dalton Reisner, I thought I would see him go today. He didn't go.
Yeah.
Looks like a good,
I mean, both these guys will go. It's day one. And it's not even day one officially. Today's just where you can talk to people, right? Like,
it's the legal tampering period.
Right, legal
the
tampering
start of
period.
it. Mm-hmm. Jermaine Illuminor, Elijah Wilkerson. So there are a bunch of them. Bobby Hart.
Yeah.
Tommy's favorite player in the whole world.
More likely we have him back. I hope not, but we love him, boy.
Yeah, so Billy Price, he's out there. Trey Pimpkins. There are guys out there that Drew Semina.
I mean, so the question is, do you think they go out and get another offensive lineman, or do you think now they work the draft since they got McGovern?
If they grab another offensive lineman, I think it's gonna be a tackle.
I
don't think they grab another. I don't think they grab another interior because they have Bucker and McGovern in here.
Right.
Plus, Bates already on the roster.
Yeah.
I mean, would I be upset if they went back and grabbed another interior offensive lineman? No, I would not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I want to see them grab some young kids in the draft to start grooming some of these guys.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking I'm good if they don't get any more linemen in the free agency. I think it's time that they draft some guys that can actually become something. You know, it's time. It's time the Bills start concentrating back on the offense in the draft, is my point. So, yeah, no, I'd be good if they don't sign anybody else as far as free agents, offensive linemen.
I would like to see them bring in a George Fant, bring back a David Quessenberry at right tackle.
I didn't mind Quessenberry. I think Quessenberry would be a cheaper pickup. You're right with Quessenberry.
I wouldn't mind us bringing those guys in to give Spencer a veteran to go against.
Because, I'm good with that.
Spencer is the young draft
that
we have.
Maybe get him a 1-year deal again, like a Quessenberry.
Yeah.
And then you draft,
I would prefer to see Fant over Quessenberry personally. I think Fant's a better player. But, Quessenberry, outside of him playing left tackle in that one game where he was obviously injured and couldn't, stand up, kept falling over, he actually played pretty well for us.
Yeah.
So, all right, Tommy. So that kind of covers our overall free agency to this point. Be interested to see what we do going forward.
Yeah. Listen, it's early. It's super early. I know a lot of teams made some splash moves today. Dolphins, I want to say they did. They're up there. I'm sure the Jets are going to get Rodgers. It's very possible. Seems like that is heating up more and more. Teams definitely made some moves today. We didn't really make a lot of moves, but I will say the Allen restructure and Miller today, right here when we were alive, that's huge. And it is going on day 2 tomorrow, whatever. I think you start seeing some guys move in, getting assigned during the week. How many? I don't know. Will a trade happen? Knowing Bean's history, Mikey, I'm going to go no, because it just doesn't happen with him. I hope, and if it does, I hope it's a splash trade. That's all I'm going with it. Other than that, I don't trade for any,
You want the big name or nothing?
Yeah.
Big headliners or don't do nothing.
Yeah, I don't need a rotational guy or guy. I think he fit here, or we could put him here. No, man. Get a guy that is an instant maker, playmaker that could push us to the next level. So, but that's where I'm at, Mikey. Is that it?
Okay. Yeah. So, why we're on the show tonight, Jameis Winston's re-signed 1 year, $4 million with the Saints, and Jimmy Ward, the safety for the 49ers, signed with the Texans. Went back to his defensive coordinator.
Okay. So some
interesting to see how it plays out.
Night moves happening.
Yeah. So Friday, Tommy, we'll do Friday Night Lights.
Yep, 8
which
o'clock.
Hopefully we'll have 8 o'clock. We'll have some more Bills signings. We freed up some cap while we're on the show.
Yep.
So we'll have more of a highlights and a rundown. We won't go through the free agents like we did today, but we'll look at what we have done up to this point, who we'd like to still see, and then we'll start turning our attention to the draft.
Sounds good. All right, man. Well, guys, once again, we appreciate everybody that came tonight in the chat. Everybody that's going to watch on the recap that missed today's live show. Other than that, man, we love you. Bills Mafia #1, and go Bills, and we're out of here. Peace.
Go Bills.